Mr. Bernstein. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? What can I do to help you?
All right. So I had a business with you 6 years ago. Not business. What is it? We had a transaction, and I used your law firm to get my citizenship. So I wanted to just leave a comment. So what it was, I remember I was in the office, and you told me that the price you told me was a little bit more than what somebody else told me. And I said, why would I use you then? And you said, it's like going outside. If you're outside buying a car in a Toyota dealership, you get it for a price. But right now, you're in a BMW dealership. And I remember when you said that, when you said that to me, I was like, that's interesting. And I used you.
Right.
And I ain't going to lie, the experience was like that, because even when I went for my citizenship, the lawyer it wasn't you that came with me, but the lady you had with me, she came, and it was so smooth. So it was really like driving a BMW. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that because I had an experience.
So everything went well. You got everything.
Yes, I'm a citizen.
You got everything you paid for, and you had a great experience. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, and I wanted to thank you for that. But the question I had today now was for my brother.
Yes.
He's actually in Jamaica right now because he was deported.
Oh gosh.
He was deported before me and whatnot. But I remember you had told me in this situation when I came for my thing, you were saying I'm under a certain age. Like I think it was because I came here when I was 16 or under 16, and you said if my father was a citizen, then that makes me automatically a citizen. Right. Am I saying it correctly?
Under 18, under certain circumstances.
Under 18. Mm-hmm. Under certain circumstances. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I feel like I'm not sure, and that's what I called to ask the consult. That's what I wanted to ask. Okay. The question was for his.
All right, so your question is your brother a citizen? Did they deport a U.S. citizen? And by the way,
yes.
I probably in my career, no joking aside, have probably handled at least 20 or 30, somewhere in that range, people who were deported from the United States, that the United States actually deported U.S. citizens, and we brought them back on U.S. passports. So it happens a lot. It happens so many times that I've probably seen that case 20 or 30 times in my career. All right, so question for you. How old was your brother when he got his green card?
When he got his green card, he was 16 years old.
Okay, what year was this?
2000.
In the year 2000. And who sponsored him?
No, I'm sorry. It was 1996. He got deported in 2000.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So 1996, he was 16 years old.
Yes.
Okay. And who sponsored him?
My mom came to America and she married her husband, which was his stepfather. His stepfather was doing the filing because my mom was not a citizen.
Okay. So which parent was a citizen when he entered America?
All right. So his real father is a citizen, been a citizen for a long time. But the person, his real dad did not file for him. My mom came to America and married her husband, and her husband was filing for him. His filing was not complete when he got deported. So the filing was never completed. But his real dad that he never grew up with was a citizen. And when he came here, sorry, go ahead.
Was his dad a citizen when he was born?
That question, I'm not sure for the answer for that. I think so, but I don't want to tell you yes, because his dad visited Jamaica, and that's how he met my mom. So I'm thinking he was, but I don't want to.
Okay, because if his father was a citizen, so if he came when he was 16 in 96, he was born in 1980, law says that if you are born to a foreign mother and a U.S. citizen father, and your U.S. citizen father lived in the United States 5 years before your birth, at any period of time after the U.S. citizen's father, age of 14, that automatically confers U.S. citizenship on you. So that's one route to look. The other route to look, I assume the father was never married to the mother.
No, never.
Okay, so that route is no good because the laws changed in 2000, and prior to 2000, to gain citizenship through the father, either the mother would have had to have passed away or the father would have had to have custody of him through a divorce. So none of that. None of that's the situation. So what you would want to look at is the first situation. When he was born, when your brother was born, he was an automatic U.S. citizen, just never knew it because his father was a U.S. citizen who was living in the United States 5 years prior to his birth.
I'm going to check into that.
And then if that's the case, then call us for a consultation and we can start talking about how we're going to prove all of this to get him. And then he's going to walk into the U.S. Embassy Where's he, in Jamaica?
He's in Jamaica right now.
Then he's going to walk into the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica and get a U.S. passport. I'm sure he's not Hannibal Lecter, but even if he was Hannibal Lecter, he's entitled to a passport in that situation.
And you told me that too back when you were saying everybody's qualified for one mistake. If you even have a one mistake, I think you were told me that you taught me that when I did my situation. You told me one mistake, people,
So, but in his situation, he was a citizen. So, if when he was born, and it gives me, I would say definitely look into it, because if you're telling me that the man, was in America and flew back to Jamaica, had a relationship with the mother, and his birth, it's very possible he was a citizen when he was born.
And that's where we're going to find that out.
All right.
But I definitely remember that story that, when you told me the BMW dealership, it was funny.
That sounds like something I'd say, yeah.
And it was like driving a BMW, and I thank you for that, because I've been a citizen right now. And, back when I came to you, I was in some legal troubles too, and you were explaining, you're a very good lawyer, and I just wanted to take the time to thank you, because I did thank you that time, but when they told me there was an ear show, so the question, I could have paid the $200 consultant fee and talked to you another time, but I wanted to make sure I gave my
thank you very much. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to talk to you for free. Find out that information and then pay the consultation if it's a positive thing.
Okay, Mr. Bernstein. Thank you again.
Be well.
All right, have a good one. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.